Hello, Joe here from Scarff, Ford and Isuzu, and today we're going to talk about this 2020 Ford Explorer XLT. Let's dive in. 2020 is a great year for the Ford Explorer because Ford engineers did something pretty significant with the Explorer platform. This is a very competitive segment, these mid-size crossovers with third row seating. There's a lot of great competition. You have the Toyota Highlander, the GMC Acadia, the Chevy Traverse, the Honda Pilot, the Kia Telluride, the Hyundai Palisade, the Nissan Pathfinder, all great vehicles, very, very competitive, but all those other vehicles are built on front-wheel drive based platforms, which the Explorer was too, previously to the 2020 model year. But the engineers, they took something out of the playbook that you'd find more along the lines of like a Mercedes-Benz GLE or a BMW X5. They switched to a rear-wheel drive platform. Generally, race cars, performance cars are built on rear-wheel drive platforms because they're better balanced, can improve handling and performance. When you have a front-wheel drive vehicle, you're asking those front wheels to do a lot. They have the majority of the weight of the vehicle on them, they're handling the majority of the braking, they're turning the vehicle, and they're putting the power to the ground. It's better balanced to give the rear wheels a little bit of work too, instead of just being along for the ride. So obviously, four-wheel drive is optional in the Explorer, like it was previously the 2020, but the primary drive wheels are what does it. So in 2019, the Explorer had a front-wheel drive platform. So you had the engine and you had the transmission next to the engine, which freed up a lot more interior space, but having the engine next to the transmission, that makes it very nose heavy, not very balanced. But switching to a rear-wheel drive platform, you have the engine and then you have the transmission with big drive shaft going to the rear wheels. Obviously, four-wheel drive is available on both of them, but for 2020, the primary drive wheels, the wheels that are doing the work, are the rear wheels. Prior to 2020, it was the front wheels. And one type of people that loves performance are automotive journalists. So if you read the 2020 Ford Explorer reviews, they give it rave. They said it made a big difference switching to that rear-wheel drive platform. And I'm sure another group of people that would definitely appreciate that is law enforcement. Obviously, the Explorer is a favorite of law enforcement, so one nice dividend of having one of these, especially being one of those people that likes to bomb down the left-hand lane, they see one of these grills getting big in their rearview mirror, they're gonna move out of the way. And with the red exterior, it almost looks like this could be like a the local fire commissioner's vehicle. Number of different engines available on the Explorer. This has a 2.3-liter turbocharged four-cylinder engine. This is a workhorse engine for Ford. We can find this in a variety of products. It's available in the Bronco, it's in the Mustang. It makes 310 horsepower, plenty of power for a vehicle like this, also very fuel efficient. You can get a larger V6 if you want, pumping out 400 horsepower in the ST trim, but for most people, the 2.3 will get the job done. We have a power rear liftgate and lots of cargo space. These mid-size crossovers are really popular with growing families. When you have a couple kids and their friends and all the stuff that entails, you want to go for a one-week trip, you need cargo space, and with compact crossovers, they get small very fast. So even if you don't utilize the third row seats all the time, being able to fold them down and expanding your cargo area, it makes a big difference. And even more so, folding down the second row seats and the third row turns it into like a little cargo van, great for those Costco, IKEA, or Home Depot trips. This has a nice WeatherTech cargo area protector, protecting the carpeted portions of the cargo area and the seat backs for the third row. This has a nice comfy second row captain's chairs, and we have the WeatherTech floor mats, cup holders, nice armrest, the rear seats recline. This is comfortable. I could spend all day back here. Maybe not as comfortable as the front seat, but definitely more comfortable than the third row. And the third row is not too bad either. Keyless ignition with push button start. Love the look and lines of the interior, great ergonomics. We have a 10-speed automatic transmission, very easy to use with this rotary dial. A nice little infotainment system with a rear parking camera, dual zone auto climate control, leather up steering wheel. We have steering wheel paddle shifter so you can take control of those 10 forward gears. We have a blind spot warning, nice gauge cluster of a digital display in the middle, of analog gauges left and right. The Explorer is just a great size, versus a larger Expedition, which I love. When it comes to parking, maneuvering in a tight city urban environment, like the Explorer is a Goldilocks, not too big, not too small, just right for most people. Thanks for joining me on this walk-around video. My name is Joe. We are Scarff Ford. We've been in business since 1922, over 100 years, proudly serving the greater Seattle Tacoma area. We sell new Fords, new Isuzus, and a very wide variety of premium vehicles. We have a regular service department for our Ford products, and we also have a huge commercial truck center as well, and a big fleet and commercial business. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.